All right, let's jump straight into this explainer for day 7 of our data science journey. Today, we're tackling the reality of messy, real-world data head-on. Now, if you've been following along with us, you know that the theory of data science, it's pristine, it's perfect, but the actual practice of it, well, that is an entirely different story. So today we are hyper-focusing on advanced data wrangling using Pandas and really leaning into things like removing duplicates, string manipulation, and reshaping data for analysis.
To start us off, I actually want to pose a question that almost always surprises people just getting into this field. What makes up 80% of a data scientist's job? You might be thinking it's all about building these super complex machine learning algorithms or tweaking neural networks or maybe just presenting really gorgeous dashboards to executives. But what is it that really consumes the vast majority of a working data scientist's time?
Reality? It's 60 to 80%. Yeah, 60 to 80% of the job is literally just cleaning and wrangling data. I mean, that is a massive chunk of your day-to-day workflow. But here's how we need to look at it. This isn't some boring chore. This is actually your ultimate employable skill. Because think about it. Anyone can call a prepackaged machine learning function, but preparing the data so that function actually works and doesn't just crash, that is exactly where you earn your keep.
So we're going to treat this explainer like your analyst survival kit. Here's our agenda for today. First, the messy data reality. Second, pruning and transforming data. Third, taming unruly text data. Fourth, reshaping and pivoting data. And finally, the real-world payoff.
Okay, moving right into section 1, the messy data reality. Let's identify the monster we're battling today.
The main culprit here is the NA, or missing value. Adopting a convention from the R programming language, Pandas refers to missing data as NA, literally not available. And seeing this forces us to stop and carefully analyze. Is this data truly gone, or is it just hidden? Sometimes the data just straight up doesn't exist. Other times, it exists but wasn't observed, maybe due to some glitch in data collection. Understanding exactly why your data is missing is absolutely crucial. It's your very first step before you even think about writing a single line of code to fix it.
Which brings us to section 2, pruning and transforming data.
I like to think of data wrangling kind of like sculpting a block of marble, right? Your first step is to take these broad, sweeping swings to prune away the excess chunks. You really can't start refining the details until you've cleared out the obvious flaws. Duplicate rows, for instance, they sneak in all the time during collection. Maybe a system glitch, maybe user error, but the drop_duplicates method just effortlessly strips those redundant observations away. By default, it looks across all your columns and keeps just the first unique instance it spots, which immediately shrinks your dataset down to the actual, real, unique observations. It's a quick, super powerful swing of the chisel that saves you, honestly, hours of manual cross-referencing.
But then, what about data that isn't explicitly missing, but is actually just a disguised error? A lot of the time, missing data hides behind what we call sentinel values. Think -999 or -1000. These are just arbitrary numbers that systems use to flag an error. So say a temperature sensor breaks, it might just default to -999 instead of leaving the cell blank. If you accidentally leave those in, they will completely wreck your statistical calculations. So we use a precise workflow. Identify those sentinels and use the Pandas replace function to map them into proper NumPy NaN or null values. Once they're proper nulls, Pandas actually knows how to handle them.
And just before we finish our pruning phase, we often have to transform categories into indicator variables using the get_dummies function. Imagine you have a column with text categories like A, B, and C. Machine learning algorithms, for the most part, have no idea what to do with letters. They want numbers. So get_dummies cakes that column and instantly spins it out into a clean, machine learning ready matrix of ones and zeros. We call these dummy variables. Doing this manually with a bunch of custom Python loops, absolute nightmare. It's tedious, it's error-prone. Pandas just does it instantly.
All right, section 3, taming unruly text data.
So the heavy chunks are gone, our categories are encoded, and now we need to grab our fine chisels for the unstructured text. Let's ground this in a real-world example. Say you're doing a Hacker News project. You've got this massive pile of user-generated text, and you want to figure out if AskHN posts get more engagement than ShowHN posts. To do that, you have to look at the raw, totally unpredictable text titles that users typed in, parse them out, and drop them into the right analytical buckets.
This is where Pandas really shines. It gives us these incredibly efficient vectorized string methods right through the str attribute. You can use str.contains to hunt down a specific word across literally a million rows in a split second, or str.strip to clean up messy whitespace, or str.replace to swap out text patterns entirely. And honestly, the best part? These vectorized functions automatically skip right over those pesky NA values we were talking about earlier. If you tried to write a standard Python loop for this, your code would just immediately crash the second it hit a missing value. But Pandas, it handles it gracefully and just keeps your workflow moving.
On to Section 4, Reshaping and Pivoting Data. Our data sculpture is looking pretty clean now. Duplicates are gone, text is standardized, missing values are sorted, but to truly understand it, we've got to rotate it. We need to view it from different angles, and that means reshaping. This brings us to a really fundamental concept: wide format versus long format. Databases love to give us long format data. That's where every single row is one observation with multiple keys, like a date, an item name, a value. Super efficient for storage. But for us analysts, when we're doing statistical modeling or building charts, we almost always need to rotate that into a wide format matrix, where every different variable gets its own dedicated column.
To actually pull off this rotation, Pandas gives you two main functions. You use the pivot method to fan your long data out into wide format, literally turning unique values in one column into brand new separate columns. And then, going the other way, you use the melt method to squeeze wide data back down into a long list. It takes multiple columns and merges them into one. It's kind of like expanding and contracting an accordion, depending entirely on what shape your current analysis demands.
It's a very similar story when you're dealing with hierarchical indexes. When you have those multi-level, complex labels on your rows or columns. For that, Pandas gives you stack and unstack. Stack takes your innermost columns and pivots them down into rows. Simple as that. And unstack does the exact opposite. It pops your innermost rows up to become new columns. When you combine stack and unstack with pivot and melt, you have this absolute lifesaver of a toolkit. They save you from having to write totally complex aggregation logic from scratch.
Finally, Section 5, the real-world payoff.
So you have these advanced tools now: pruning, reshaping, taming text. But why does mastering this specific stuff matter so much for your career? Why not just use pre-cleaned datasets? Well, this quote from the source material really hits the nail on the head. A completed project does something a certificate can't. It shows an employer exactly what you can do with messy, real-world data. Employers know for a fact that their internal company data is a total disaster. They don't just want theory, they want proof, right there on your GitHub, that you can survive their chaotic datasets and still pull out valuable insights.
Take the famous eBay car sales dataset, for example. It's wonderfully messy. It's got German column names that you have to translate and clean into standard snake_case. It has crazy outlier prices in the millions for just everyday used cars. It literally even has car registration years extending into the future. No way a basic algorithm handles that. But when you can transparently document how you use drop duplicates to fix the scrape, vectorize string replacements to standardize the text, and reshaping to fix those exact anomalies, you are proving massive value to a hiring manager. You're showing them you're an actual problem solver, not just someone who runs code. So you now know how to prune away the garbage, chisel through the unstructured text, and completely reshape the dimensional fabric of your data using Pandas. You literally possess the essential skills that make up 80% of a working data scientist today. So the only question I have left for you is, which messy, chaotic, real-world dataset are you going to tackle and chisel into an analytical masterpiece first? Get out there, start wrangling, and build that portfolio.